Hey guys, it's Alex with Paragon Performance. Today we're going to be installing the Halltech Stinger intake on our Grand Sport. This works with the Grand Sport and the base. This is going to be included in our Stage 1 tuning package as well. It includes the Halltech high flow filter. It's going to give you a 300% increase in airflow over a stock filter. Let's get to the install. We're going to need a panel pry tool, a smaller flathead screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a pair of channel lock pliers, a pair of needle nose vice grips or something to clamp a hose with. Need a pair of side cutters, a 10mm wrench, 1/4 inch ratchet, a 10mm socket, and a 7mm socket. All right, so we're gonna start here using your 7mm socket. We're gonna remove this air guide here for the back side of the radiator. There are 4 screws. You're gonna have 1 on either side down here, as well as the 2 up top. And remove the air guide. So we're gonna start here with the mass airflow sensor. We're gonna release the red safety clip on it, and then depress the tab and unplug it. And then we're just gonna tuck this up out of the way. Next, we're gonna remove this vent line. It's got a gray plastic tab that you're just gonna depress and pull up and off the intake. And then you can kind of tuck that out of the way. I'm gonna take our flathead screwdriver. We're gonna loosen the clamp here on the throttle body. We've got 2 10mm screws here that we need to remove from the airbox assembly. I'm gonna remove the air intake tube from the throttle body. Okay. And then we're going to slide the air intake out towards the driver's side and just wiggle the intake around. We're gonna start here by taking this stud out of here. This will not be reinstalled. Next, by rotating the radiator hose where it connects here to this water outlet, we need to rotate it counterclockwise. And we're gonna take this little line and move it till it lines up with there's a bump on the top here. Just squeeze the clamp and rotate it. And then reset the clamp. Next, we're gonna rotate this one clockwise. Squeeze the clamp, and you're gonna rotate it about the same amount as you did the other hose. Just like so. Next, we're gonna install the supplied piece of reflective heat shielding. It's just gonna get installed on this radiator hose. Make sure you wipe it down so it's clean, so it sticks. It doesn't stick super well, so I'd suggest just using a couple extra zip ties and just tie it down in place. And then we're gonna use the large supplied zip tie, and we're going to zip tie these 2 hoses together. You don't want to squish the hoses, just make sure that they're being held firmly together. And then grab a pair of side cutters and cut your zip tie tails off. All right, next thing we need to do, we need to pinch this hose off. So we're gonna be removing this piece of nylon and replacing it with a piece of rubber. This has coolant in it, so if we pinch it off on this side, that'll minimize the coolant leak. Just like that. And then let's get this hose cut. Use a razor blade carefully here and just gently cut this nylon tube. And then the same here for the other side. All right, now we need to remove this nylon tube from here. Sometimes it helps to take a little screwdriver. And the same with this side over here. All right, with the supplied 5/16 hose, we're going to slide this onto the check valve here at the radiator. Put our hose clamps here on it. And then we need to install this other side to this side. All right, and then using the other couple zip ties that are supplied with the kit, we're gonna route this down so it clears the alternator pulley and attach it to this AC hose that comes down the side. Make sure it clears the alternator as well as the belt down here. And then next we're gonna tighten down the hose clamps here. And then remove the clamp you used for the hose. You're using your panel pry tool. Let's remove the clips out of the body for this harness. And then we need to tuck this harness down. Now we've got everything prepped and ready, we can start installing the new intake. All right, so next we need to transfer the mass airflow sensor from the original to the new Halltech unit. Remove the 2 Phillips screws. We're going to install the provided Allen screw washer and then install the rubber O-ring on the bottom. Repeat for the other bolt hole. And then install the MAF. Using the provided Allen wrench, tighten them down. Next we're going to install the coupler. The coupler is different sizes from one side to the other. The smaller side goes to the throttle body. We're just going to roughly place that on there for now. We're going to set the intake in place, rotate the intake up out of the way. We're going to start by installing the 2 screws that hold the air box to the body. We're just going to loosely install those. Now that we've got those 2 screws loosely installed, let's get this intake tube stuck into the coupler on the throttle body here. About like so. Now that we've got that slid in there, we're going to stick the quick connect fitting supplied into this boss on the coupler. Just presses in there like so. Now we're going to take the vent hose that we had disconnected from earlier and we're going to install it onto here. And then we will position this coupler where it kind of positions this best, which will be kind of rotate it towards the driver's side to pull that down a little bit. Now we can go ahead and tighten down these clamps here. Then we're going to go through and tighten down the 2 10mm bolts for the airbox. Don't forget, like we did, this piece of foam seal will actually be stuck to the face of the box around here. So I'm going to disconnect this really quick and get that slid together and installed. And then we're going to slide the O-ring up and over this. And then it goes in the groove here on the seal. Now we've got to plug the mass airflow sensor back in. Make sure it clips, reinstall the safety clip, and then reinstall the air guide. And put the 4 screws back in it. There you have it. It's a pretty simple install, easy way to pick up some horsepower, especially with the Stage 1 tune package. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you guys next time.